the Papare.com, coming to you live from Havelock Sports Club as we ready ourselves with a very interesting game. It's only the second week, but the traditional rivalries are in full swing. St. Joseph's College hosting St. Thomas's College here at Havelock Park for the Lady Jayatilaka Trophy in this Dialog Schools Rugby League second week matchup. It's going to be very interesting with these two teams going at each other from what we've seen last times they've met. Joining me in the comment box is Shanaka Amarasingh. A very good day to you, Shanaka, and a warm welcome.
Thanks very much, Sudarshan. A very good afternoon to you and everyone tuning in to the Papare.com as well. Dialog Schools Rugby. It's the second week, is it? Or the third week, Sudarshan? Second week. And these teams are going up against each other in what is an early season clash for a very important trophy. The Lady Jayatilaka Shield is something that both teams treasure very much. And I would have to say that on form, St. Joseph's are very much the team that are the favourites going into this game. And St. Thomas has after that lost to Trinity up in Pallekele. And it was a fairly comprehensive loss, you have to say, that they will come in as rank underdogs this game. But let's see what will happen, because St. Thomas's are always happy to go in as underdogs. That has been the recent tradition in the very recent history of Thomian rugby. So I don't think they'll be upset about that tag. But this Josephian pack looks like it might be just a little bit too much.
Yes, it's even more important for the Thomians to try and win this one, because according to the format that we are playing the game, they say it's important for you to be in the reckoning for the second round. You need to finish top two in your respective group. Trinity, of course, will be quite happy if the Thomians can do a number on St. Joseph's, because they will be comfortable at the top. They didn't manage to get their bonus points in consecutive weeks. St. Joseph's, on the other hand, had a brilliant opening week. What we'll do now is we'll go for a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we will have more about this game.
Welcome to the universe of the Raz. Whatever you want, whatever you need, all you can imagine is on your feet. When miles are abridged, happiness is unlocked. Discover your Raz.
What's the best ceiling sheet, Mr. Basunda?
That's the I-Know ceiling, the Rhino ceiling, a wood pattern finish. I know.
You can color it your way. The plain ceiling. Rhino.
The roofing's Rhino.
The ceiling's Rhino.
Incredible strength. I know.
Durability that's high.
I know. Cost effective too.
I know.
It's the best choice always. Rhino.
Over half a century of trust, now in a new formula. Rhino Roofing and Ceiling Sheets.
I know. Rhino.
Dallas ලෝකයට එකතු වෙන්න. ඔබට සැරිසරන්න. සිත් සේතෝරා ගන්න. හැම දේම ඔබ ළඟටම. කොතැන හිටියත් එකම යායක්. අසීමිත සතුටක්. අත්විඳින්න. ඔබේ දරස් සොයාගන්න.
For instant pain relief, Baraka Jointies Fast Action Spray, your pain relief partner on the field.
We are at the dawn of an astronomical digital metamorphosis. This is the new frontier in banking, where limits are a thing of the past. NDB Bank. The future is banking on us.
We live in a world that's rapid and demanding. We live in a community that values trust and reliability. So what if speed and convenience had a new makeover? Introducing the new Quickie.lk, Sri Lanka's favorite online marketplace. Quickie.lk, convenience delivered.
Pain? Don't let it get you down. For instant pain relief, Baraka Joint Ease Fast Action Spray. Baraka Joint Ease Spray, your pain relief partner on the field.
අයිනෝ රයිනෝ පුතා හැබැයියා ගෙදර නිදියන්නෙම අමූතු තැනක.
කාලගුණය කොහොමුණත් රයිනෝ නං වාහනට සේෆ් තමයි මුළු ගෙදරම. Rhino Cement Roofing Sheets. Then you know Rhino. I know.
Welcome to the universe of the Raz. Whatever you want, whatever you need, all you can imagine is on your feet. When miles are abridged, happiness is unlocked. Discover your Daraz.
What's the best ceiling sheet, Mr.
That's
Basinda?
the I know ceiling, the Rhino ceiling, a wood pattern finish. I
You
know.
can color it your way. The plain ceiling.
The
Rhino!
roofing's Rhino.
The ceilings, Rhino.
Incredible strength. I know.
Durability, that's high.
I know. Cost effective too.
I know.
It's the best choice always.
Over half a century of trust, now in a new formula. Rhino Roofing and Ceiling Sheets.
I know. Rhino.
Welcome back to the live action brought to you from Dialog Schools Rugby League second week action here at Havelock Park. 12 teams as they usher the making and the return of the Titans, return of schools rugby to Sri Lanka. What we'll do now is we'll try and take a look at how the points table stands of Group 1A, Shanaka. Trinity at top after playing 2 games, and the Antonians yet to get a victory.
Well, it really is a group of death, isn't it? You have to look at St. Anthony's and Kingswood at the bottom. You'd fancy that they may finish either 5th or 6th, both those teams. But looking at the top 4 teams, it's a battle royale, if you'll pardon the pun, for the 3rd place Royal team. But Trinity St. George have looked good in the first week. Royal have also looked very good. St. Thomas is still to win. So today will be a key factor in how Thomian's season is going to progress. But those first 3 teams, only 2 of them can make it. That's a tough one.
Yes, that is going to get tougher as the weeks go by. We'll take a look at what happened last week when it comes to these 2 teams, because St. Thomas's College started off with another trophy. It was not ideal for them. We'll first take a look at St. Joseph's. That was a cruising win for St. Joseph's. Season opener, we expected jitters, but not at Dali Road.
Well, certainly it was. Saran Karunanaika coming up with the first try as well. And this man, I think, is going to be a really important figure, not just today, but for the season as well. Navin Marasinghe, the big number 8 for St. Joseph. So he's going to be a real key. And this man as well, Randeepa, who is the 8 and the 9 combination. So that's going to be something that St. Thomas's will have to come to grips with today. But they were outstanding last week, and I bet that they will be today as well. Josephians,
though, did not get massive opposition from the Kingswoodians, who did look like they were underprepared for that challenge. But up in Palekale, the Thomians, despite going down, did put on a real show. They put on a show of Thomian grit despite being down at one point. But this is Kovid Amar Singh just running around, player of the match of that day. And this is what Trinity has. They have a couple of game breakers who can run at you, but the Thomians never gave up. They were up to the mark. They were riding on the momentum, and unfortunately missed out on a golden opportunity in the 5-meter line in the dying minutes of the game, from which Trinity countered and sealed the victory with a penalty, finally 20 points to 13. So the Thomians will be hurting. No team, Shanaka, wants to start off your season losing 2 trophies back to back, and when you lose those 2 games, you don't have a chance in the second round. That's not going to be ideal.
Certainly not. And here's the Thomian team. Talk about that win last weekend for Trinity. Mohammad Hakim, Shahan Selvanagam, Jared Pereira, Jonathan Bulat Singhala, Adil Rahman, Jared Martinstein, Shanal Fernando, Charya Kurukulasuriya, the captain, up against a big Navin Marasinghe. Mahit Pereira starts today. Yahan Bulat Singhala gave the young fly half. Akira Pereira is on the right wing. Vian De Silva moves in one, and Rehan Vikramasuriya is out on the centre position. Hasit Ramanayaka and Jaden Koch make up the rest of the back 3.
Replacements for St. Thomas's, Ali Akesh, but we'll get to that. St. Joseph's, Atakorala Senaviratni Shandi Soisa, Sachinta Lanka, Janit Marasinghe, Minidu Patirna, Sachintana Vidyan, and Navin Marasinghe, the big man, alongside his brother Janit Marasinghe, playing in number 5 and number 8. Vihaga Randeepa, one of the stars of that opening game. Dilhar Subhash, Randika Dhananjay comes into action for the first time for St. Joseph's. Teran Karunanaika and Rodrigo, the two centre combinations, Rahel Javardhana, their deputy skipper, and Chandupa Vimalasiri, the man at the back. Viraj, Vidusha, Sitija, Utesh, Ayeshan, Ashen, Sanchita, and Nivanu make up the replacement for St. Joseph's.
Going back to last week, Sudarshana, both teams I think suffered a bit from first game blues. It's the first game back in a long time for most of these teams, and St. Thomas I think suffered the most. They've gone up and in unfamiliar conditions in Pallakale as well, but so did St. Joseph's. Even though they didn't get too much of a fight from Kingswood, they did also think that they could have run up a few more points.
Well, Huddle, that was lost for some time. Sanaka has made his way back. It's something nice to see from the lads from the school by the sea.
Well, it has been a tradition that has been going on for as long as I can remember. I've been watching St. Thomas's rugby for probably more than 30 years now, Sudarshana. So it has been around. It went into abeyance for a while. I think there were instructions from the top, but now I think diplomacy from the first 15 teams to the warden have been, maybe not this warden, but have been had, and after much discussion, the war dance is back.
Well, they'll have to do a little more than dancing if they want to get this one over with, because the Josephians will be coming in with intent, and they are looking for their maiden league title. Under Niloufar Ibrahim, they managed to win their maiden knockouts title. Niloufar will want to do one better here, and what better season to start off with than a season where everybody starts from zero.
Absolutely, and Niloufar is one of the best coaches on the circuit. I don't think there's any argument about that. But so is his opposite number today, Shamli Nawaz. Very different styles of coaching. Niloufar is very much about letting the boys do what they do well and make sure that they do it better than they are starting off with. So that's his way of coaching. But Shamli is very much a structured coach. He wants to build things up from the bottom, and he knows how he wants things. So it's going to be a little bit of a battle of philosophies from the coaching staff as well, with Niloufar and Shamli going against each other, players who have played against each other, who know each other very well, and I think there will be a lot of mutual respect between them also, as there will be with those two teams. But as you said, Sudarshana, the Ethiopians will have to do better than pounding the floor if they want to make an impression against this big Thomian, big Josephian outfit.
Battles all around the park as the Josephians ready to kick off here at Havelock Park. Lady Jayatilaku Trophy 2022 at Dialog Schools Rugby League 2022. We are all set for the kickoff.
A huge positional shift for St. Thomas's as well. Probably their best centre, number 12, Chahan Selvanayagam, moving into the hooker position. So that's not something that happens very often. We saw Peter Gus Suakula this afternoon for the All Blacks, who came from wing to number 8, but centre to hooker is not something we see very often. As he takes his first touch of the game, Mahit Pereira collecting that and putting that in to his forwards to set up a ruck just inside the 22. And Bulat Singalage will stand well behind the ruck, playing with some nice depth, which is not something we saw in the Trinity game, but straight down the throat of the danger man now for Karuna Naika, stepping outside the big man. Here's Karuna Naika stepping in, breaking 2 tackles, back into the 22. Held up strongly in the tackle of Akira Pereira. And looks like the Thomians are trying to rip that ball away. Akil Jamaldeen says it's a tackle now, and it's a high tackle. And I thought Akira Pereira was a tad bit unlucky there.
Well, Akira Pereira, very strong player on the wing for St. Thomas's, experienced campaign as well, but early signs of how important Bulat Singalage is going to be for the Thomians. If they are going to play that territorial game, he needs to turn up, and the chasers need to be committed behind Bulat Singalage's kicks as well.
Yes, he needs to understand exactly what's happening with the wind as well. This wind can be tricky over this ground, sometimes comes in over the pavilion and the hoardings on either side as well, but this is where the game is going to be won and lost, in the line-out. And St. Thomas's have been a little wanting in those lineouts. Navin Marasinghe is over the line. Easy does it for the big Josephian number 8. If you give him the ball a few meters out, the job gets done. And that's pretty much going to be the story of the season. A big lift at the front like a sevens line out here. Mara Singh running straight into Bulat Singalage, who really would have seen all his short life flash before his eyes. And easy try for St. Joseph's.
Well, it's no coincidence that the Josephian coach is also the national sevens coach. Shanaka, something really out of the sevens playbook there, the lineouts. That is exactly what you need to do. Make it as simple as possible for these young lads, and they will try and execute. We've seen throughout the games that we've telecasted as well. Yesterday, Wesley College and Nisipatana College both guilty of not getting their lineouts proper. Wesley College got a golden opportunity to win their game in the last dying ember of the game to win through a 5-meter line out, but spilled it out. But here, St. Joseph's College straight away within the opening minutes, making their intentions clear and executing it to perfection.
Dilhara Subhash with the conversion lined up. So they scored very early on in the piece last week as well, and Joseph seemed to be making a habit of this. But just goes to show what an advantage size is. Marasinghe is not just big, but he's strong as well, and shows who to run into. Bulat Singalage, and it's beautifully worked through as well, because you had the receiver coming in from the inside the 5-meter, but if you noticed the scrum half, he was standing 10 meters back, and St. Thomas's were not wise to that occasion. And it was very interesting how Nilufer had worked that out, and I'm sure Shamli Nawaz is going to go back and have a look at that, and I'm sure a lot of coaches around the school circuit will have a look at that set play from St. Joseph's and be ready for it the next time it comes. Again, the restart not going well. Same story last week. It's a problem they haven't fixed yet.
Yes, inexcusable that time by the Josephians forwards. You need to make sure once you've gotten the advantage. Rugby is all about momentum. If you did watch some of the games that panned out today as well, New Zealand versus Ireland. Ireland was riding all the momentum. They gave a sniff to the All Blacks, and the game was over. It was flashed in front of their eyes. So Josephians need to make sure, because when the games get tighter, when the games get closer, these are the opportunities that you need to capitalize on.
Absolutely, it's okay to make these mistakes early in the game and early in the season. To be fair though to the Josephian forward, he was staring into the sun. Kulukulu Surya picks up at the back, but he's tackled well behind the gain line by Vidyana, who has been outstanding so far for the Josephians on the open side flank. St. Thomas is keeping hold of the ball and losing it forward this time, but illegally, says referee Jamaldeen. And again now, St. Thomas's will be in two minds, because their line out hasn't really functioned too well, Sudarshana. So it would be a no-brainer to go for a 5-meter line out, but instead they're going for the post. So this is what I was talking about, that lack of faith in the line out is going to be a problem for them if they don't fix it quickly.
Also, I don't blame the skipper for deciding to go with Bulat Singalage, who's been a very decent kicker. Give him that option early in the game. And if you're coming close to the opposition 22, you need to try and go back with some points or the other. And with opting to take the penalty kick, you are guaranteed of precision coming back to you in the form of a 22-meter restart. So Bulat Singalage, approximately 25 meters with the angle. There's plenty of distance on him. It's just the direction that he'll worry about. But that's good this time.
Well, he's an excellent kicker, and he has been practicing as well. So it showed very much that they were confident with it. And why not take the 3 points if it's on offer? And that's something for St. Joseph's to think about as well. Lovely strike from Bulat Singalage. Maybe if Riza Mubarak is watching from Canada, where he celebrated his birthday last week, he'll be able to give the young kicker a few pointers. But it's just 7 minutes in the game, not even 7 minutes, and they've already had 8
Outside, out. Out.
Rahel Jayawardene losing focus that time, and a quick reminder to all those of you watching this live stream, we wish to keep you informed that due to difficulty in sourcing fuel, we are not using a generator for today's game. Our production typically uses a generator as backup to the power grip, and in some cases run entirely on the generator. We apologize in advance if there is an interruption to the broadcast due to an unexpected power outage, and we thank you for the continued support and understanding that you placed on us. It's quite an adventure trying to bring you these games during the current situation, as the Thomians use their line. Good feed from the number 12.
Viandi Silva into the number 12 position and showing that he has some decent feet to step in and out of tackles. He'll be used in a different role than Selvanayagam was used in that position. So Coach Shamli Nawaz just tinkering a little bit with his positions, and Mahit Pereira doing really well there to really disrupt Vihanga Randeepa. Randeepa was one of the standout players against Kingswood, but it looks like somebody might be just posing a little bit more of a threat.
Well, Mahit Pereira becoming a real nuisance around that breakdown, and he's that type of player, isn't it? Multi-talented.
Navin Marasinghe, and we look like we might have put the commentator's curse on him. Chanal De Silva reminding him that he just knocked the ball on, so the ball will just revert to the opposite side. So a little bit of pressure on the back of that scrum already. And the place where most attacks sprang from against Kingswood seems to have been disrupted twice, but this Josephian outfit is strong and it's playing well together. So St. Thomas's will need to capitalize again. Quick channel 2 ball, and that time Mahit Pereira puts a little kick into space. Makes a follow-up tackle as well, but it was well recovered by St. Joseph's, who will now need to clear this one. Ilhara Subhash thumps this one deep, and now Jaden Koch will run at the defense. Nicely taken by Bulat Singalage. Akira Pereira steps in, steps out, steps back into the field of play. Nicely done by the winger, and that ball goes off the foot, so the referee will say play on. Bulat Singalage goes in after it. Now Mahit Pereira is available. Chanal De Silva. Bulat Singalage. Smashing tackle on Pereira that time by the Josephians, but looks like he might have come off second best. Here's some space now for Vikramasuriya. Goes on his own. Had 2 men outside him. And good poaching by St. Joseph's, but just tackled, just cleared off the ball. Nice hands that time from Rahman to Hakim. And St. Thomas's will have the penalty again, and if they took the last one, they should probably take this one as well.
Yes, I think that would be the correct call. The only thing that might work against it, yes, they're consistent in their decisions. Bulat Singalage had a good strike earlier. We want to replicate his heroics here.
Penalty, don't shout. This is penalty, don't shout. Mark him, mark.
To slow him down, and Vikramasuriya makes the tackle. St. Joseph's haven't been able to get their big forward pods into the game so far, but this might be their opportunity. See them standing around like a herd of rhino, and that's a lovely kick. It goes into touch, but coming back in time. Just in time was Ramanayaka. Looked like he might have got away with a very lateral pass. And the referee says, no, he's seen that. Was carried back, was it?
Yes, referee Jamaldin deems that it was carried back. So the Thomians look to play that territorial game, but the Josephians are very equal to it. They want to play that game as well. They know the Thomian forwards are big made, so in order to try and counter them, they're banking on the fact that their forwards are a little more better condition.
Josephians dumming to the back and going to the front. Easily won that time. That was Sachin Tralanka winning the number 2 ball. Marasinghe still going. Takes 3 players to bring him down, and he lays it back well for Ramdeepa. The hands letting them down again, and the Thomians are in. Akira Pereira is dragged down. Is he 5 meters short? Doesn't get the ball away. Vian De Silva is on hand, and he will work his way to the line. No clear release there. But the referee says play on. And St. Thomas's, out of nothing, have managed to score.
We'll talk about the try against the run of play. Charya comes away with the ball, the Thomian skipper. Good work from Akira Pereira, but it was all started off by Mahit Pereira's correction. Shanaka, here's what happened. A little bit of a mishap which was lost by the opposition skipper Kanna Nayak and Mahit Pereira's footballing antics. I beg your pardon, that's
Vian De Silva, I think it was, who got the kick in. And it was great strength from Akira Pereira to stay on his feet here, wasn't it? And De Silva on hand, didn't stop. Knew that he had to pick and go. And I thought that they were lucky to get away with that penalty. It didn't matter because St. Thomas was scored in the end. But Charya Kulukuru Surya on hand and a skipper's try from the Thomian captain.
the only thing I would have preferred for Vian De Silva to do is to have gone on the shoulder of Akira Pereira. That would have made for a beautiful try, but this time around Bolat Singalage hitting the mark without a trouble. 2 more points added, and just like that St. Thomas's are 10 points to 5 in front. Shanaka.
Well, that was very much against the run of play, so St. Joseph shouldn't let their heads hang as a result of it, because it can happen to anyone. Just a ball dropped, and we saw that happen against Ireland today as well. Ireland going so well. Bowden Barrett got his hand in for a little bit of an intercept, and the whole game changed from there. Looks
well,
like
I believe referee Jamaldin has called in for a water break mid-game. Difficult conditions, very humid conditions, and the referee can make that decision.
It'll be interesting to see whether the coaches are allowed in the huddle at this point. Yes, they are. Yeah, I wouldn't mind some water as well. Sudarshana, I had a 35-minute walk to get here. And a 35-minute walk at my age feels like you've played half of rugby. So, yeah. Thanks, mate. I was only joking, but thanks for the water.
Yes, difficult times here in Sri Lanka, but we continue to try and bring you this game in order to try and develop and cater to the rugby-loving public. And also special thanks to our subscribers from around the world. By subscribing, not only are you helping us in keeping our aim to provide this unmatched service to the sports-loving public in Sri Lanka and around the world, but you're also contributing valuable and much-needed foreign currency to the country. So kudos to our subscribers. and all our fans around the world who are helping rugby be shown all around the world.
Nicely taken by St. Joseph's, grabbed out of the hands of the Thomian forward. Minindu Patirana is the ball carrier, 1 out for Vihanga. And here's Subhash Jilhara stepping back into traffic but still going. Steran Karunanayaka. Nice little ball out to Rahul Jayawardena, who is pushed into touch eventually. But the Thomians probably could have done a little bit better in their first line of defense there. Really dangerous when Karunanayaka gets the ball, Sudarshana. He has seemed to be the outstanding back of the tournament so far, even though it's early doors.
Absolutely, one of those players who can break the line, and also even though he doesn't look like a big made player, has so much of leg drive and energy when he gets the ball. Tehan Karunanayaka, the Josephian skipper. But here's the Thomian line out under pressure, collects it cleanly. Good work by the set of forwards to try and sucking all the defenders into that maul.
Referee calls once, and dancing along the touchline is Chanal De Silva, but he has put his foot into touch. So that was really good defense from St. Joseph's, trying to bring that Thomian maul as close to the touchline as possible and isolate Chanal De Silva onto the touchline. So he tried to tiptoe down it, but just didn't have the legs.
Good work from the Josephians as well. When you have your forwards working off the ball very well like that, any team would consider themselves very lucky, because your set of forwards, when they work off the ball, they will pose a different threat. And here they are securing their own line out. On the march are the Josephians, have now been brought down illegally.
Well, it is going to be a devastating weapon for St. Joseph's, 5 meters out, as you just saw. Still going though, although they have the penalty advantage. Close to the line, St. Thomas's have been a little weak. Charya Kurukula Surya gets up the line quickly to make the tackle, and here's Navin Marasinga. They've marked him, and that's good work from Hakim, who manhandles the big Josephian number 8, but he'll set up for another chance. Lays it back unselfishly. Everybody lining up for a pop here from St. Joseph's. They know it's just a matter of time. Thomian defense holding staunchly for 3 phases now. And here it is again, but nice work from Martinstein coming off the line. And the referee will say no advantage. So that's a moral victory for the Thomians. They've managed to hold the Joes out, and they'll come back for the penalty, and it'll all start all over again.
Well, interesting call to be made for the Josephians here. Do they go to the line, or do they take a quick tap? Seems like they will use the latter. Marasinga stopped in his tracks by the
Chanal De Silva. It was a lovely chop tackle. Looks like the ball has come off the feet, so referee says play on. That was lucky for the Josephians. Trying to get out of the way is Pereira. And yes, it's a try. So we all knew that when it's in that Thomian red zone, things are going to be difficult for any opposition, with Joseph's 5 meters out. So they've developed this big pack of forwards. This is reminiscent for me, and I'm only talking in relative terms, as Jehan Atakorala is the man who goes over. But this pack is like that 2003 England pack, Sudarshana. That's the kind at a schoolboy relative level, I have to say. But it's just one of those beastly packs that are going to really make things count when they come into this zone.
There's an absolutely brilliant weapon for St. Joseph's College when you have backs who can break the game at the back. In order to have this stability in your set of forwards goes a long way. They are very controlled and poised with the possession. They are aware of what their numbers are. The prods that they create outside the breakdown are very good as well, and adds in the extras. So 2 more added. Josephians take back the league 12 points to 10, and this game is beautifully poised.
22 points in 23 minutes already on the scoreboard. And if you've paid your money for your season pass, you're getting every minute's worth of entertainment here. at Havelock Park as St. Thomas's visit St. Joseph's. The Dialog Schools Rugby second week of action for the Lady Jayatilaka Shield. Just 2 points in it. And St. Joseph's facing another restart. Let's see if it will be third time lucky for them. Bulat Singalage with a high hanging kick. Again it's dropped, but it goes backwards. And under severe pressure, Akira Pereira dives down. Sorry, that's Ramanayaka who dives down, Hussein Ramanayaka, and he dives on it illegally. So that's an unfortunate bit of play for St. Thomas's as they give Josephians a let-off.
Just one thing that Coach Nilufer Ibrahim and his coaching staff needs to try and fix in a hurry. It's receiving kickoffs for St. Joseph's. They faltered time and time again. And mostly when they've just scored, and that kills momentum, that kills your feel good about you scoring.
Certainly does, and I think the research shows that teams are the most vulnerable when they've just scored and at the next kickoff. So that's something that they will need to have a look at. St. Joseph's going in with shortened numbers. 5 men in the line out. St. Thomas is trying to disrupt through Martinstein, but unable to get their hands on the ball. And the Josephians will rumble this forward for as long as they will be allowed. Really good shove from the pack there that time. Subhash Tilhara looking for Teran Karunanayaka. They can't let him get outside them from the outside of the boot. Karunanayaka puts this deep into Thomian territory, and Jaden Koch is swung out into touch. And Rahul Jayawardena has his word as well.
Yes, earlier it was Rahul Jayawardena's time to be bundled into touch. This time around gives it to his opposite number. A little rub on the head and say, mate, I got you back. Extremely harmless, but very good kicking by Karunanayaka, showing that he poses that dual threat. He can go through you, he can run around you, and he can kick as well. Puts the opposition defense in 2 minds.
If you look at Jaden Koch's positioning, he was actually setting himself up for Subhash Tilhara's clearance kick on the other side of the field, so he had to come around pretty quickly. And Akira Pereira on the right wing also had to come up because St. Joseph's looked like they were running it. So it was really good vision from Karunanayaka to spot the space at the back. And Josephians winning another line out. Kulukulu Surya manages to stop his opposite number thoroughly, and Bulat Singalage comes off second best with another fend. Karunanayaka should probably have given that, dragged down by Vikramasuriya after he's made forays into the 22. So Josephians with their tails up here.
Release now, release.
Subhash Tilhara for his big pot of forwards, up on him quickly. The Thomians haven't let him get space to stretch his legs. Minindu Pathirana. And here's some numbers on the outside for the Josephians. Show and go. Karunanayaka, so dangerous. Beautiful little dummy from the Thomian, from the Josephian skipper. And then gives the ball away, unfortunately, because there was one of his support players diving over the ball. Looked like it might have been Randika, the Hamjana.
Well, seems like there is an injury on field, and if you're suffering from joint or muscle pain, don't let it get you down. For instant pain relief, use Baraka Joint E-Spray. Fast action and quick penetrating Baraka Joint Ease Pain Relief Spray offers instant relief from any type of joint or muscle pain associated with sports and day-to-day work. Available in all pharmacies and supermarkets island-wide. Log on to Baraka Facebook page for more details. Baraka Joint E-Spray, your pain relief partner on the field. And as the Thomians must be taking a massive sigh of relief, because Josephians look like they were getting their battering ram powered up.
Certainly were. All they need is field position, and that man Teran Karunanayaka is instrumental in getting that for them, whether it's with his kicks, whether it's with his runs, whether it's with his distribution as well. It's been outstanding so far. And again now, the Josephians won't mind this because they want to just test this Thomian line out, which has faltered on occasion. But they're going short this time as well. 5 men in the line out. And the Joes look like they're going to lift at the front as well. So as you were saying, plenty of sevens tactics being used in this game.
Well, Marasinghe surely can lift a player on his own. Does that, but Thomian's coming away with it.
Lovely little run by Vian De Silva, bumping off the would-be tacklers. Managing to make about 25 meters there. An outstanding run by the number 12. Little dummy again. By the Thomian captain. Mahit Pereira is there. And here's Bulat Singalage again for the big Pereira. And again, Pereira, unfortunately, was isolated. This is something that happened a lot against Trinity Sudarshana. They would make good attacking runs and get isolated and get penalized for holding the ball on. So this is a factor that really needs to be fixed for the Thomians.
I think the understanding around your numbers, you would generally pick a third rower, a lock, and a front rower to each spot of forwards who are going into contact Chanaka. And the Thomians not having that understanding or communication, I think, is found wanting. If you look at the Josephians around the breakdown, you can see these spots, a front rower, a lock, and a third rower getting together and making sure you're ready to support the guy going in with the ball.
Yes, absolutely. I think there's a little bit of deer in the headlights kind of when the ball goes to ground. The Thomians aren't making good decisions. Going to have a chat.
So before line out, you have to make sure you tell the pass message to the other one because they need to get ready. Okay?
Yes, the message was clear. The pack leader needs to call out the numbers so the other team can get ready. Josephians trying to keep it as much as they can from the opposition.
So 5-man lineouts, and Thomas has still look like they've got a man extra. A lot of movement in this. And again, they jump from number 2, so a lot of movement to decoy. But still the jump happens in the number 2 position.
Okay, now.
Hakim going in and trying to disrupt it, so it has been brought down, but legally so that time. And here's Marasinghe still going. Such a deadly proposition.
Boys, stay on your feet, stay on your feet.
Shinal De Silva with a good chop tackle there again, but St. Joseph's won't mind this. It won't be pretty, but they will march their way to the line. This forward pack knows exactly what its strengths are, and they will have absolutely no problem in continuing to do this. Hanging on for dear life that time was Rahman. Vidyana. And here's a lot more opportunity for St. Joseph's. As Sudarshana was talking about, the pods of forwards, they're hunting in packs here. Looks like the ball might have been turned over here. In fact, it has been, and Mahit Pereira comes away with it and thumps it away just outside the 22. So good defense by the Thomians on that occasion, Sudarshana, but there's just so much of this that a team can take.
Oh, absolutely, and a live update coming to you from the Royal Complex and also from Nitala. At Royal Complex, home team, Royal College 15 points to nil. It was to be expected that they will dominate Kingswood College, and up in Kandy, Science in front 7 points to 5 against Dharmaraj. That's going to be a very, very interesting game. Both teams looking for their first victory, and Royal looking to keep their unbeaten tag. Last time it was the number 2 that went. This time also tried and tested. Keep it simple. Get the ball into your number 2 jumper and make sure that you secure it.
been brought down again, so the Thomians have managed to get the better of the small on defense. Here we go through. Teran Karunanayaka sees the space on the outside, and unfortunately for him, his winger just can't keep his feet.
Well, real signs of a very good captain, as any thinking player. Teran Karunanayaka has a little chuckle about it as well, because the winger overshot, lost his footing. Otherwise, that would have been a 50-50 chance. The ability to kick for your number 13 really changes the dimension of the game, Shanaka. And when it's your skipper, he can take that decision anytime he wants.
Absolutely. As Jahan Bulat Sinhala pumps this nice and deep and finds touch. That's an outstanding touch finder from well behind his touchline. So will buy his team a little bit of respite, and if they can go in to half-time with just this gap, Sudarshan, I think St. Thomas's will be the happier side. But as you were saying, really opens up all the options, and he's got so much vision, Teran Karunanayaka. And as you said, playing at 13, that really makes life difficult for the opposition teams. Ball was stolen and stolen back by the Josephians. Sometimes the steals don't really go in your favor. Here's Subhash Dilhara, hasn't had a lot of good ball. Tackle that time from Kulukuru Surya. The captain has been outstanding in defense so far. St. Joseph's thumping in out the court onto the try scorer. Running hard, and they're running straight. Again, another good tackle by Selvanayagam on Navin Marasinga. Vihanga Randeepa goes in and tries to make a difference, and it was well stolen that time by the Thomians, and the kick put forward again by Mahit Pereira. The chase for Rahal Jayawardena. Let's see what he will do to get his team out of trouble. Holds onto the ball wisely and strongly. And St. Joseph's have done really well to get numbers back. St. Thomas's would have really lost an opportunity there. Subhash Dilhara thumps it downfield. Ball goes backwards, so it won't be so much of a problem that time. Getting out of the shackles was Ramanayaka. And this time Navin Marasinghe is on his way to the line. He's not going to be stopped. Jaden Cock will try to get there and does so, but just out of time. And Navin Marasinghe thundering down the touchline. We don't often see that except from the likes of Adi Savea, who did it today. And unfortunately for the Thomians, they scored a run of the play. It looks like he was not anywhere near the gate, Marasinghe, that time. But the referees will say try is given. We can see that again.
It'll be interesting to see that replay again if we could. Navin Marasinghe managing to turn that ball over. Take a look at this. He was the tackler. It's not. I don't think he was behind the gate, Marasinghe. But when your 6'8" number 8 can run like that, Chanaka, and he's strong, you got trouble.
But I think that was a steal that Richie McCaw would have been proud of. I think the mantra is don't come over the fence, come through the gate. And Navin Marasinghe broke the fence down on that occasion.
Well, I'll just say he peeked from the side of the fence, Marasinghe. But referee Jamaldeen consulted with his AR, and they were in agreement that Marasinghe's try will stand. 17 points to 10 is what we have at half time. It's been a very interesting half. Thomians would have liked to have it at the previous score line, 12 points to 10, but really nothing between the two teams, Shanaka, except for the fact that the Josephians have really gotten their forwards into play Tomian started off with kicking territorially, putting the ball behind the St. Joseph's line, but they didn't have possession to do that in the latter half of the first half. Come the second half, with St. Joseph's forwards taking the ball and attacking so much, do you think they will want to do it a little more often and make sure that the forwards are tired?
Well, St. Thomas's desperately have to play field possession. Lovely sleight of hand try here. Marasinger busting straight up the middle there, and it was early doors in this game, so St. Thomas's didn't really have a feel for what was happening and how dangerous he could be. Bulat Singalage coming back to make the scores 5-3, and then Vian De Silva thumping this one forward after the Josephians had dropped it. Akira Pereira does really well to stay in the field of play, although he was dragged down nicely by Chanuda Vimalasena. Vian De Silva stayed in support, got almost to the try line, managed to lay the ball back, and then his skipper Charya Kurukula Surya picked up and managed to get great body position before dotting down to take St. Thomas's into a shock lead, 10 points to 5. And after the conversion was made, and then this is where the Josephians have looked unstoppable so far in the 1.5 matches they've played this season. Easy try for Jehan Atakorala in the end, after all the forwards had done some outstanding work and Subhash Dilhara found his kicking boots. And this is the try. Well, you might argue that he had 1 foot behind the gate, 1 foot on the other side, but we're not going to be able to contest that anymore, as Navin Marasinghe, take nothing away from him, thundered 50 meters down the pitch. And just for that, I think for a number 8 who's so big and so strong to be able to beat a fullback into the corner, I think he probably deserved that try. 17 points to 10 at halftime of the Lady Jayatilaka Shield here at Havelock Park. St. Joseph's hosting St. Thomas's in the second week of the Dialog Schools rugby season. We'll be back after the break.
දරාස් ලෝකයට එකතු වෙන්න. ඔබට සැරිසරන්න. සිත් සේතෝරාගන්න. හැම දේම ඔබ ළඟටම. කොතැන හිටියත් එකම යායක්. අසීමිත සතුටක්. අත්විඳින්න. ඔබේ දරාස් සොයාගන්න.
For instant pain relief, Baraka Jointies Fast Action Spray, your pain relief partner on the field.
We are at the dawn of an astronomical digital metamorphosis. This is the new frontier in banking, where limits are a thing of the past. NDB Bank. The future is banking on us.
We live in a world that's rapid and demanding. We live in a community that values trust and reliability. So what if speed and convenience had a new makeover? Introducing the new Quickie.lk, Sri Lanka's favorite online marketplace. Quickie.lk, convenience delivered.
Pain? Don't let it get you down. For instant pain relief, Baraka Joint Ease Fast Action Spray. Baraka Joint Ease Spray, your pain relief partner on the field.
අයිනෝ රයිනෝ පුතා හැබැයියා ගෙදර නිදියන්නෙම අමූතු තැනක.
කාලගුණය කොහොමුණත් රයිනෝ නං වහලට සේෆ් තමයි මුළු ගෙදරම. Rhino Cement Roofing Sheets. Then you know Rhino. I know.
Welcome to the universe of the Raz. Whatever you want, whatever you need, all you can imagine is on your feet. When miles are abridged, happiness is unlocked. Discover your Daraz.
What's the best ceiling sheet, Mr. Basunda?
That's the Ino ceiling, the Rhino ceiling, a wood pattern finish.
You can color it your way. The plain ceiling. Rhino.
The roofing's Rhino.
The ceiling's Rhino.
Incredible strength. I know.
Durability that's high.
I know. Cost effective too.
I know.
It's the best choice always.
Over half a century of trust, now in a new formula. Rhino Roofing and Ceiling Sheets.
I know. Rhino.
දරාස් ලෝකයට එකතු වෙන්න. ඔබට සැරිසරන්න. සිත් සේතෝරාගන්න. හැම දේම ඔබ ළඟටම. කොතැන හිටියත් එකම යායක්. අසීමිත සතුටක්. අත්විඳින්න. ඔබේ දරාස් සොයාගන්න.
For instant pain relief, Baraka Jointies Fast Action Spray, your pain relief partner on the field.
We are at the dawn of an astronomical digital metamorphosis. This is the new frontier in banking, where limits are a thing of the past. NDB Bank. The future is banking on us.
We live in a world that's rapid and demanding. We live in a community that values trust and reliability. So what if speed and convenience had a new makeover? Introducing the new Quickie.lk, Sri Lanka's favorite online marketplace. Quickie.lk, convenience delivered.
Pain? Don't let it get you down. For instant pain relief, Baraka Joint Ease Fast Action Spray. Baraka Joint Ease Spray, your pain relief partner on the field.
අයිනෝ රයිනෝ පුතා හැබැයියා ගෙදර නිදියන්නෙම අමූතු තැනක.
කාලගුණය කොහොමුණත් රයිනෝ නං වාලට සේෆ් තමයි මුළු ගෙදරම. Rhino cement roofing sheets. Then you know Rhino. I know.
Welcome to the universe of the Raz. Whatever you want, whatever you need, all you can imagine is on your feet. When miles are abridged, happiness is unlocked. Discover your Daraz.
What's the best ceiling sheet, Mr.
That's
Basunda?
the Ino ceiling, the Rhino ceiling, a wood pattern finish.
You
Ino.
can color it your way. The plain ceiling. Rhino.
The roofing's Rhino.
The ceilings. Rhino.
Incredible strength. I know.
Durability, that's high.
I know. Cost effective too.
I know.
It's the best choice always.
Over half a century of trust now in a new formula. Rhino roofing and ceiling sheets.
I know. Rhino.
දරාස් ලෝකයට එකතු වෙන්න. ඔබට සැරිසරන්න. සිත් සේතෝරාගන්න. හැම දේම ඔබ ළඟටම. කොතැන හිටියත් එකම යායක්. අසීමිත සතුටක්. අත්විඳින්න. ඔබේ දරාස් සොයාගන්න.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the Papare.com as we bring you second half action of the daily Dialog for Shield. The Domians in the blue and black against the Germans in the blue and white. Host team today. And those are in the lead at the end of 35 minutes of the first half. 17 points to 10. The last gasp try from Navin Marasinghe has been the difference between the two teams so far.
Well, would have been pretty harmless if his hand did not make contact on the player's head. Didn't quite believe. He's the man on the ground. Well, if you are suffering from joint or muscle pain, don't let it get you down. For instant pain relief, you can use Baraka Joint Spray. Fast action and quick penetrating Baraka Joint Ease Pain Relief Spray offers instant relief from any type of joint and muscle pain associated with sport and day-to-day work. Available in all pharmacies and supermarkets. And a quick reminder again to all of you watching, we are not running this game on a generator, backed up power due to the lack of fuel. So if there is any unscheduled power cut, we are really sorry for the intervention, as St. Joseph's are reduced to 14 men, Rahel Jayawardena being yellow carded. They will have to play with 14 men the next 10 minutes of the game, so Thomians need to try and make use of this numerical advantage as much as they can.
Interesting that they chose to go to the line out this time. I would have thought that a 3-pointer might have been on offer, especially given the kind of form Bulat Sinhala is in. Would probably have been able to slot that over, but going for the 7 instead, that's good positive move if it comes off, of course. If it doesn't, you've left 3 points on the park. Chanal de Silva throws in, and that's well won that time by Martin Stein, who has been excellent at the front of the line out so far. Martin Stein family famed for being front rowers, and looks like this lad has graduated to the second. Dragging his team forward as they march on. Kulukula Surya with a high tackle. And there's Bulat Sinhala to Vian de Silva stepping in. Subhash Dilhara keeps the Thomian centre off the floor as Mahit Pereira now looks for his skipper, Kulukula Surya. Hakim runs back against the angle. Nice work from him. Here's Mahit Pereira. And here's a bit of space for Bulat Sinhalage, who will score. So it doesn't matter about the high tackle because Bulat Sinhalage scores, and will look to convert and put St. Thomas's on level pegging.
This is what happened, the referee having a word with the assistant referee. Well, seems like the referee will have a chat with Karna Naika about the high tackles that are coming in and the repeated infringements from the side of the Josephians. Now Bulat Sinhalage can equalize here with the extras to come. This is ideal for this game, isn't it? 17 points all as soon as we start the second half. Thomians with an advantage when it comes to the numbers on the field.
It just goes to show what a difference it makes when you have a functioning line-out, Sudarshana. And St. Thomas's came so close against Trinity last week without a functioning line-out, and now that they've got at least a number 2 throw, it shows what a difference it makes to the whole team.
Well, if you want to try and see what not functioning lineouts can do to your team, watch the game of Wesley versus Isi Patana, which was up yesterday. 3-0 at 70 minutes. That's a terrific strike again by Bulat Sinhalage. All square, 17 points all. And this game is brilliantly poised.
17 points all at the start of the first half. Joseph's with 1 man in the bin for about 7 or 8 minutes more. So it's going to be really interesting for this big Josephian pack. How they're going to come back into this game. Well, I say come back into this game because they've only been second best for the last 5 minutes or so, Sudarshana. They have been absolutely outstanding in that first half. Were good value for their lead, even though the final try was under some controversy. Pereira thumps it into touch, and that's a safe clearance from the scrum half.
Now this is where the Josephians will want to take hold of the game. Their line out has been functioning well. Their forwards are playing as a very, very good unit. Good cohesion amongst them. And they have the physique to back it up as well. Again goes to number 2. Contest is late.
A nice chop tackle again. Shanal De Silva has been superb today in defense. Subhash Dilhara. Good tackle by Vian De Silva that time. The Josephians need a big man to come in, and this is what happens when you go high against Marasinghe. He will drag you back a few meters. Arthur Korala, another good ball carrier, lovely body position. Kick straight into the Thomian defensive line that time by Randeepa. Not sure that was his best kick, but he looks for it again, and that looks like it'll go into touch on the full. So Randeepa didn't get it right the first time and overcooked it the second time.
Saw that they had advantage coming in for them. Interesting, isn't it? We spoke about this earlier as well, why they opt to go to the boot every time there is an advantage. When you get an advantage, it's your cue to try and make a play with the free knees. But the Josephians doing the right thing, opting to go for 3 points through Dilhara Subhash.
Well, the Thomians have to stop talking to the referee here. Got so many people going up and questioning him, and if at all, only Captain Kulukulu Surya should talk to him. Subhash Dilhara is a good kicker, so this should be a matter of course for him. For St. Joseph's to go in front again, 2017. Dilhara will take his time, sensibly so, because he knows that he's got a player in the bin. Rahul Jawardena wouldn't mind this one bit, knowing that his team won't suffer too much in his absence. And yes, that's straight through the middle as Subhash Dilhara puts his team back in front. So the lead for St. Thomas's is very short-lived. And Lady Jayatilaka is now to be caught up with again for the visiting Mount Lavinia team. I don't know if anyone has done this before, Sudarshana, but Mahit Pereira has played St. Peter's at the big club grounds earlier today and now has come to Havelock Park to play St. Joseph's. So really dancing with the Saints.
Oh, he sure is, Pereira. But yeah, he'll do well to try and not dance with the referee making a complaint. It seems like a Josephian player is down. There is a little bit of complaining going on.
Any idea what the complaints are about, Sudarshana? Oh, we can't tap into the referee's mic to hear that, but well, obviously something's going on.
It's largely on a double, and live from Royal Complex, 39 points to nil. The Royalists are rumbling at Royal Complex, 39 points to nil, and from Nittavale it's 5 points to 7 still. With the update we last got, seems like Dharmaraja has just scored 12 points to 7. They've gone in front, the Rajans. Nice deep kick from the Thomians, returned in kind by the Josephian fly half.
Dilhara Subhash with a safe clearance that time. Slightly overcooked by Bulat Sinhala, who might have wanted that one to go a little shorter, or perhaps he was playing for field position. Thomians have made a little bit of a change in the front row from the team that turned out against Trinity. Martin Stein, quick ball. Here's Bulat Sinhala again. Here's Vian De Silva. Pumped into the floor, driven into the floor safely though that time. Ball dropped by Selvanayagam, but looks like he took a bit of a Smack to the throat.
Massive tackle coming in from Karuna Naika, was a little worried initially whether he had gone a little too high.
Fortunately not able to pick up that little conversation between Kurukula Surya and Jamaldeen. But the outcome will be a scrum for the Josephians. You can see that the Thomians are not happy about something. They're not really able to pick up what it might be. But this game very much poised on a knife edge at the moment. Both teams have got each other's respect. They know they can score from nowhere. Marasinger will be a weapon off the back here. Good shove by S.THOMAS. Vihanga Randeep under pressure, and Subhash Dilhara looking for the 50-22. Jaden Cock with a safe clearance that time. But the chase is non-existent for S.THOMAS. Ramanayaka misses a tackle, and here's Karunanayaka. Good tackle on him by Vian De Silva, but he still manages to run over the Thomian defender. Here's the Josephians getting a head up of steam. Good tackle that time by the Thomian number 3, Bulat Sinhala. Mahit Pereira muscled off the ball there. And another penalty straight in front of the posts.
Well, this is something the Thomians need to be very, very careful of. And there's nothing like penalties biting down on you. They've given away 2 silly penalties right in front of the post, and they are made to pay. And when you see your opposition team getting away from you through penalties, it really does hurt, doesn't it, Shanaka, rather than them cutting you open and scoring a try under the post.
Absolutely, Sudarshana, because now it will be 6 points deficit, and that's 1 more point than they would have given away if they'd allowed the opposition to score a try. So it's a big 6-point gap that will open up here. And coincidentally for Subhash Dilhara, he's kicking from almost the same spot, both these penalties.
The only other instance where you'd be more disheartened would be if the opposition side has a kicker who's capable of kicking drop goals. That becomes a real nuisance. As Dilhara makes no mistake. Clean strike. Plenty of height, flirting with the right upright. But gets the 3 points.
Yes, it's been kicking practice for him, the last 2 penalties, and a valuable 6 points for the Josephians, who will come out from the sin bin period just 1 point adrift. Looks like Rahul Jayawardene will probably make his way back to the field. In fact, he has. So it's just 7-6, and Jayawardene will be very relieved at that. And that's another drop from St. Joseph's, and unfortunately for the Josephian player, he played the ball in front of the man that dropped it, so the referee ruling that that was offside very correctly.
Well, insult to injury, I think Dulanjana Vijayasinghe will be pulling his hair out. He's done some great work with the forwards, making them a very cohesive unit, but restarts is something that they will have to focus very hard on. And this is giving the Thomians an ideal opportunity to try and poke their head in the game. Again, interesting call to be made here. Again, Shanaka, do they go for points, which would be the ideal proposition, but or do they ride on the momentum and go for that 7 points.
Well, the momentum has been with St. Joseph's in the last few minutes, Sudarshana, so this might be a sensible thing to do, to come within that 5-point margin, to come within that 3-point margin, and keep it to within a score. 6 points is beyond a try, so that's something that they want to come back, and it's an easy enough kick for Bulat Singhala, so chances are he will make this. So it seems a little unnecessary to spurn the chance of 3 points.
Here's the Thomians taking a calculated decision to make sure that they are as close as they can possibly be to the Josephian scoreline of 23 points to 17. What a game! Is Super Saturday for rugby. If you're a rugby fan, I'm sure you are hogging the remote the entire day today. International Rugby, Schools Rugby, brought to you on the Papare.com. As Bulat Singhala lines up. Easy strike. That's what he does for his warm-ups. And the Thomians are up to 20 points now.
Really confident kicker, isn't he? He's got this lovely languid style of kicking, and once he strengthens up a little bit, he's only 16 years old or something, Sudarshana, so once he strengthens up a little and matures, I think he's going to be a very good prospect, not just for St. Thomas's, but perhaps in senior rugby as well. So 23 points to 20. St. Joseph's again suffering from the fact that their restarts are letting them down. Vian De Silva and Kulukrusuri. I've had a lot of conversations with referee Akil Jamaldeen. They had one just a little while ago as well. Not really sure what's going on. Can't be only about the amount of air in the balls.
It seems like most of the balls that are coming into the middle are overinflated. Referee Jamaldeen not entirely happy with a couple. But here's another restart, this time Thomians receiving. If they can negotiate this well, it might turn out to be the difference between the two teams.
Mahit Pereira, probably the only man you don't want to kick it to, because he's got the ability to catch and kick. And does so with ease there. So the Josephians opting not to go for that short kick-off. Looks like the change in the front row has made a big difference. Hakim and Pereira coming in for St. Thomas's has changed their forwards around a little. Made their pack a lot more mobile and efficient. Substitution for St. Joseph's as well, the same one that was made last week. Sithitha Sanjeeva comes into the back of the line-out, scored a try against Kingswood. So he will want to continue that streak for sure. So St. Thomas is not getting their timing right. Lucky not to be penalized that time by referee Akil Jamaldeen, but Martin Stein had been jumping a little late. This time he went early. Perhaps next time he'll get it right. Vidyana has been good. Thomian forwards have tried manfully, but this Josephian pack really has been a cohesive unit. They haven't gone alone. They've made sure that they've battered the Thomians with more than one man at a time. Here's Vidyana once again, making yards. Marasingh. That time, the latch was just a little too eager from Sithitha Sanjeeva.
Tanit Marasinghe, the ball carrier that time, the brother of Naveen Marasinghe. So another Marasinghe coming up the ranks for the Josephians. And these are inklings of very, very good looking forwards back in the making, Shanak. If they can continue this culture, that's how traditions are made, to either play the forwards or the backs.
Well, I think Sri Lanka Rugby should probably contact the Marasinghe parents and ask them whether they can breed a few more boys for Sri Lanka Rugby. Be a little too late since these boys are in their teens, but Bulat Singhal with a lovely kick from the center of the field takes play up to the 40-meter mark. Janit and Navin in jerseys number 5 and 8 for St. Joseph's have been a thorn in the side. It looks like the hierarchy prevailed, Sudarshana, and Navin ate most of Janit's food as well. It's the older brother. Oh, that's a terrible line out. After things had been going so well, complete miscommunication. Shanal De Silva apologizes to his team, as he should.
Well, number 7 throwing into the line out, Sonika. We've seen throughout the games that we've had so far, so many other players taking the responsibility of throwing the ball into the line out. That number 2 jersey is a specialist position, and if you cannot deliver your core duty of being the hooker, I don't know why you play in that position, because it's integral. It's like a fly off without being able to kick.
Absolutely, Sudarshan, and you know that better than most. But for St. Thomas's, they absolutely just don't have a hooker. They've moved Selvanayagam from number 12 to number 2. He's probably just ripped the one off his jersey. But it really is a problem. Navin Marasinghe goes off the back. Shanal De Silva has hung on for dear life more than once in this game. Manages to do so again. Mahit Pereira is down, which doesn't look good for the Thomians. Trying to counter-ruck is Vian De Silva, but there are hands in the ruck. Bulat Singhal goes in after it. The back's trying to counter-ruck, but held easily by this big, experienced set of Josephian forwards. Selvanayagam gets in there for a bit of a counter-ruck. Teran Karunanayaka has the ball in his hands after what seems like a long break. Really well done by Rahul Jayawardena. Was the man who went up highest to retrieve that ball from the kick from his captain. And really good work that time by Shanal De Silva. Mahit takes it quickly, but the referee says from the wrong mark.
Well, yet again, Teran Karunanayaka showing us what a strong player he is. Catches the ball after a while, but that incredible leg drive and strength in the contact area. The way he goes into contact and keeps driving forward, Shanaka, does remind me of how Adi Savia plays. Not a player who has a massive physique, but it's very difficult to stop him on his tracks.
Yes, he really does well in contact, Sudarshan, and I'm just wondering whether they're missing a trick by moving him to number 13. I think maybe 10 and 12. Number 12 is a good position for him to play outside Subhash Dilhara. And here's Dilhara coming back to his feet, but looking a little worse for wear. So this would be a big blow for the Josephians if he had to go off. But looks like he will do his utmost to stay on. Encouraged there by Randika Dahamjana. He'll have to drag him off, I'm sure.
Thomians now with the chance to try and break momentum of the Josephians. They need to try and Bulat Singhal needs to try and put some distance behind this kick. And their forwards to make sure that they go through the motions and make sure they secure the ball from the line out.
Bulat Singhal will look for touch. And Subhash Dilhara off your cameras. Looks like he's back to almost full fitness. So substitution happening for St. Thomas's. Pereira goes off in the number 17 jersey. And Muhammad Ali comes on. Ali's mobility is not quite the same as Pereira's. So hopefully this will not affect the Thomian pack too much, as there's a good 15 minutes of this game left. Martin Stein. That time is a much better line out from the Thomians. Kulukula Surya. Big run by Selvanayagam, stopped in his tracks by Karunanayaka. He's so strong. Not the biggest man, but really strong in the core. Mahit Pereira, Kulukula Surya steps out of one tackle, but Vihanga, that was a superb little bit of intervention by Ruchita Rodrigo. Really got up quickly. And that one is out on the full. So Bulat Singhal just getting that one wrong, and again good line speed from the Josephian defense, really putting the young Thomial fly half under pressure.
Yes, the Josephians have been very good in their defensive work, as they have gone up together, and when they do charge, they are committed as well. Like you mentioned, Karnanarika showing some strength, and it's common across the board at St. Joseph's College, so credit needs to be given to Ravindra Dayan, their trainer. We'll take wing to Birmingham alongside Niloufar Ibrahim around the 28th of July for the Commonwealth Games. Ravindra Dayan, part of the national weightlifting coaching group.
So it looks like there's a free kick, so Joseph's throwing away a golden attacking opportunity. This is what I was talking about, Bulat Singhal playing a little too flat to the line, Sudarshana, and that's something that will come with experience. He's got to realize that he's very long-limbed, so he's going to be quite easy to charge down. So that's something that he kicks the ball quite far in front of his body, so he really needs to play a lot deeper in order to allow himself the time he needs. So S.THOMAS is going into a running free kick there and somehow losing the ball. And that's a beautiful kick. Outstanding kick that time.
Well, I think Dilhar that time, Dilhar Subhash rather that time, basically demonstrated what you were trying to explain to Bulat Singhal again, how to go back into that pocket and make sure that you capitalize from space. Subhash had all the time he needed to properly calculate that quick and make sure that he touches the playing field before it rolls over.
It's a bit of confusion as to whether that was a 50-22 or not, but it was carried back. Martin Stein as well. And the pass from Mahit Pereira is not a good one. Bulat Singhal does well, but he's knocked the ball on. Not entirely his fault that time, and you can't fault this young scrum half. Played a cricket match in the morning, playing a rugby match in the afternoon. He's allowed a mistake or two.
Well, that's not a mistake. He'll be very happy about it. It maybe went on to the next man in the centre. Now Jose and the crowd from Dali Road finding their voice, getting behind the blue whites. Keep an eye out on the man with the ball. Run deeper. Can snipe through. There's a massive opening on the short side of the field. Well, Randeepa might get it if he can get it past Marasinghe, that is Shanaka. 5 meter scrums. Number 8s will be licking their fingers to pick those balls up.
Well, there is a rule in the rule book somewhere, Sudarshana, that says that the scrum half can't stand with both feet in front of the ball, the attacking scrum half. And if Randeep is standing in front of the ball and allowing and blocking off Mahit Pereira to get to Marasinghe, that could be something Akil Jamaldeen has a look at. Exactly like what he's doing now. And that's the second try for Marasinghe. Absolutely no chance for anyone. Such a beast. He is. A third try, in fact it's his hat-trick. Scored the first one, scored the last one of the second half, and then Shenal De Silva has done so well chop tackling. Kulukula Surya also couldn't. They did well to try and go under him, but Marasinghe just too strong and too close to the line.
Well, 5 meters off that line, it was no taking that ball away from Marasinghe. 28 points to 20 with the conversion to come. Now the Josephians looking to run away from the Thomians. We are closing in on the last 10 minutes of this game, but if St. Thomas's wants this, it's still on offer for the lads from Mount Lavinia.
28 points to 20 with the kick to come. It's 10 minutes left in this game, and the way that this game has swung like a pendulum with the lead changing hands, you never know what could happen. That's a lovely kick, outstanding kick from Dilhara Subhash. Well, he seems to have recovered from that injury pretty well. And 30 points to 20, the 10-point gap with 10 minutes to play might be just a mountain too high.
It's brilliant stuff, absolutely brilliant stuff from Subhash. Lovely kick. And the old Josephians rejoicing. 30 points to 20 going into the final 10 is a sizable leader. Now Thomians will have to play catch up. They need to get their forwards into the party. They need to make sure that their forwards get in on the act. Substitution has been made. Akira Pereira taken out. Yes, Bulatsinga yet again, a good high hanging kick to the deep. Goes to Subhash, who can clear. Well, how about that for a kick, Shanaka? Didn't have much of an angle to work with, but delivers a beauty.
Yes, it's a lovely kick, and you can see he knows his way around the rugby field. Knows exactly where he is. Great awareness as to what's on as well. So he does look up and make sure he knows where the Thomian back three are positioned and make sure he finds the space. So it really has been a commanding performance from Subhash Dilhara. Dummy off the top of the line out. It's just something that the Thomians will have to learn.
Well, if you're registered to the Papare.com rugby alerts, you would have gotten the message that Australia has beaten England 30 points to 28 in Perth.
I didn't watch that, Sudarshana, so thanks for ruining my Saturday evening. But
well, I'm next to you now, not having watched it as well, Shanaka, so there goes the replay out of the window. Maybe you can watch the South Africa game as consolation. South Africa taking on the Wales.
I'm not sure many of the Welsh fans will want to watch that one either, Sudarshana. South Africa have named a monstrous team to play Wales. Rather like this Josephian pack, which has been, if we have to talk about man of the match, you know, you have to look at this whole Josephian pack as a collective almost. And they're doing the exact same move that they did at the front of the line out, but they've got two receivers that time. Not sure that was legal because they had two men within 2 meters of the maul, which is very different from the first line out that Navin Marasinghe scored off. So some interesting technical talking points from this game.
That will really make for a very interesting chat meet. Tariq Rapansuri charging in, busted off. Big no argue.
I think the Thomian captain has come off second best. He scored 1 try, and Marasinghe, the opposite number 8, has scored 3 rather. Here's Bulat Singhal. Might have looked to run, it seemed like he had numbers, but the Josephian defense had fallen back in time. Good recovery and good awareness from the Joes to make sure that they didn't allow St. Thomas's to break out. Here's another good kick. Selvanayagam is a man who has to go back. He's not completely... Whoa, that was just a little bit late, but hopefully Pires is not the worse for wear. Lovely step that time from Ruchita Rodrigo. But St. Thomas's have managed to get the ball, and Jaden Cock will give a little box kick. patience shown by the Josephian defender. And now Josephs will be quite happy to pin St. Thomas's back in the half. As this kicking ping pong continues, St. Thomas's can't afford to do this for much longer and desperately need to put the ball through the hands to try and get at least within spitting distance of this Josephian score.
Well, interestingly, referee Jamaldi calling out for a penalty. The line has been found offside of the Thomians. So after a little bit of rugby ping pong, Josephians coming away with it. Now they have an opportunity to try and attack the corners. They will want to put pressure on the Thomians. St. Thomas's now, it's the time the leaders need to step up and try and spur the kids on, the rest of the teammates. We don't give up until the final minute of the game. 66 minutes on our clock. A couple more must be on referees and his assistant referees due to the injuries that has been around the park, and also another periodical reminder to all our viewers watching us on the Papare.com. We are running this live telecast on the grid and not on a backup generator or power. So purely due to the fact that we haven't been able to source fuel for the generators, we do apologize in advance for any interruptions that could occur. And a massive thank you to all our subscribers watching us from around the world. Thank you for believing in us, and not only are you helping us in our aim to keep providing this unmatched service to the sports loving public in Sri Lanka and around the world, but you are also contributing valuable and much needed foreign currency to the country. So keep supporting the Papare.com and the Sri Lankan rugby scene, and with it the fighting economy here in Sri Lanka as we look forward for better days ahead.
So the Josephians will want to try and finish off with a flourish. Just 3.5 minutes left on the clock. And they definitely will want to try and get closer to the 40-point mark. And if that is the score, it will be unfair to St. Thomas's. But because it has been a very competitive game, Sudarshana.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It has been a very, very competitive game. But for the Josephians, remember, they've gotten the 4 tries, they've gotten the bonus points. As it stands, soon after this game, they will go to the top of the points table in Group 1A, having taken the maximum points from both the games.
Well, he's setting up some nice clashes for Royal and St. Joseph's, Royal and Trinity. Trinity and St. Joseph's as well. Looked like it might have been a little not straight. Vindiana knows it as well.
Well, when your jumper collects it from his outside arm, you know it's a little more than little not straight. As a hooker, there was no restrictions, or there was no argument from the man.
So St. Thomas's will have to run 80 meters to try and get a try on the board and get a little closer and hope for a miracle. There's not a lot of praying going on because St. Joseph and St. Thomas will probably be asking for favors from the same man.
Well, only difference will be the way in praying the Church of England and the Roman Catholic Church on either side.
Looks like Marasing has gone off. They're preserving him. Blood Singhala through the hands, and Vikramasuriya puts the kick in. Not sure why he did that. They really need to run all their way to the line. Nice little step back inside from Richard Rodrigo, who has featured lately in the game. Indiana. The ball has squirted forward and dragged back. So hands in the ruck is a call from referee Jamaldeen. And Bulat Singhala will look for touch. So Thomases don't seem to realize how close they are to the end of this game and how much they really need to run this one.
Lovely weather to play some rugby, isn't it? Nice gloomy conditions, good breeze going across the ground. Live from Nithawela, 15 all at Nithawela Science, really putting up a charge, but Royal College have officially now scored the first 50 of the season, 53 points to nil against the Kingswoodians, the boys from the Randalls Hill, really going through some troubled times. Was an absolute giant back in the day.
Line out stolen beautifully in front by St. Joseph's, and a crucial line out steal as well, which won't allow St. Thomas's back into the game. Jaden Koch has been forced into a few errors before, and it looks like he might just get a run into space. Teran Karunanayaka manages to hold him up before he gets blindsided and smashed in a tackle, and now some space for Vian De Silva spinning out of a tackle. Vikramasuriya is allowed to turn and place. Good discipline shown by St. Joseph's that time. Bulat Singhala running up was Fernando. The number 4 has come onto the pitch for the Thomians. Bulat Singhala, Ali, Selvanayagam. It looks like a penalty has been given away.
Well, Shanaka, with that, with our clock turning out to be 70 minutes, we need to try and decide on the NDB man of the match. Like you mentioned, if we could give it to the entire forwards pack of St. Joseph's College, that's going to be an easy decision. But since we cannot do that, Teran Karunanayaka was one of those players who really stood out to me in the game. But can you look past Naveen Marasinghe, who scored a treble, and he's also part of that forwards pack and also the pack leader?
I don't think there's much dispute today, Sudarshana. A guy who scored 3 tries, made life hellishly difficult for St. Thomas's, and who marshalled this really big Thomian pack. I think there's no contest that he is the man of the match, and St. Thomas's are doing the sensible thing. They're taking the bonus points, Sudarshana. And I was wanting to say that before, what would happen here, whether they'll go for glory, a Hail Mary at the end, or will they go for the bonus point, try and get that bonus point and look to winning those games against the other teams.
Well, interestingly, that was a penalty and it was charged down. Luckily for St. Thomas's College, Bulat Singhala managed to convert it. Now there is an opportunity. Is there one last hurrah remaining in the Thomian camp? Will the Thomian grit try and upset what would have been a perfect afternoon for the Josephians? We picked up player of the match, but will the Thomians provide us with the NDB moment of the game in the extra time? We'll have to wait and see.
Well, let's wait and see. It was a beautiful run by Jaden Koch earlier on to turn this into an attacking play for the Thomians. Muhammad Ali manages to get it into the hands of Mahit Pereira. Bust up by the middle by Sena Ratna. Fresh legs on the park, doing the business for the Thomians. Cutting back in field was Senal De Silva, who also has been a defensive rock for the Thomians, and just unfortunately undid himself. That's a beautiful little step going into the Josephian half was Richard. Fernando again. Looks like the referee had his arm up for advantage, so let's see how it goes. Josephian line very much on the edge. And Mahit Pereira takes it quickly. Not sure that was a wise decision, but it could turn out to be one as he's isolated from his team. And again, not 10 meters, says the referee. And he will go to his pocket as well. And unfortunately, in the dying minutes of this game, it's Janit Marasinghe who needs to go off. So both the Marasinghe brothers off at the moment. And do St. Thomas's opt for the line out, which has been 50-50 for them, or do they run this one? The Josephians are out on their feet. The adrenaline is with St. Thomas's. My goodness, what a game.
Absolutely, what a game, and this could clearly be the NDB moment of the game. If St. Thomas's can go the distance, they are asking for a scrum. This is what happens when you are not entirely confident about your line out, Chanak. Otherwise, it would be a no-brainer. Go to the 5 meters and try and push this one through, but the Thomians opting to go for the scrum.
Well, I'm seeing what Shamli Nawaz is thinking. He's thinking it's a 7-man scrum. They need to bring a back. They need to bring a back to make sure that the numbers are correct, that the numbers match up. That means there's space on the outside, and these boys have shown a willingness to run. So it's going to be interesting. They haven't matched up. Little pass out and space for Jaden Cock. Goes into the corner and sets up a touchline conversion for Bulat Sinhala. The Josephians' hearts are in their mouths. The numbers are still with St. Joseph's to walk out winners in this game because the conversion is from such a tight angle. But let's wait and see how things pan out. We couldn't have asked for a better game on a Saturday afternoon. 8-9-14, beautifully done. Had a man over if he needed him. And probably Jaden Cock just didn't have enough space. He had 2 men covering him, so he needed to score. But maybe a right-footed step would have taken him under the posts.
Well, we asked for a NDB moment of the game, and here we are delivered. Brilliant finish to this game. All lies on Bulat Sinhalage. And Shanaka, I'm up for changing the player of the game tag to Bulat Sinhalage if he makes this one, because that will really change the complexion of the game and it will tilt it in the Thomian favor.
Well, I think we've got to look at the performance over the 80 minutes, Sudarshan, or 70 minutes rather. And even if Bulat Sinhala gets this, I think he's been a bit of a patchy performance. He's done some really good things and some things that have put his team under pressure. So I think Mara Singha will probably stay. Hearts in the mouths. And it's not over. So St. Joseph's will walk out winners in this game. But what a thrilling performance from both teams. Absolutely scintillating game to watch. The Thomian grit not prevailing but coming very close and coming to the end of that game. I think it's the Thomians who will walk off, while the Josephian response will probably be one of relief.
Oh, absolutely. I think despite winning this one, Josephian camp will put their thinking hats on. They could have won it much easier, but letting the Thomians come in and make a last charge yet again for St. Thomas's. Too little, too late. They let the opposition play a little more than they should have in the opening minutes of the game. But what a game for the Lady Jayatilaka Trophy. Both teams beltering it out. It was a pendulum swinging from end to end, but this has been definitely the pick of the games this weekend, Shanaka. It's been an absolute thriller up until the very last move of the game.
Well, it's the identical scoreline from Perth, where England and Australia played. This match also lived up to its hype. Here's the first score of the second half. Mahit Pereira standing up 2 defenders and Bulat Sinhala going over for his try, converting it as well. So it was a really good performance, and these 2 penalties are what took the wind out of the Thomian sails. Subhash Dilhara back-to-back penalties right in front of the posts. Easy job for referee Jamaldeen to... And that was the penalty that St. Thomas's had. And here's the moment that the match turned. 4, 5, 6 tacklers it took to eventually bring him down. Shanal De Silva and Sharia Kulukalasuriya, who had been given the express task. And this from Subhash Dilhara was what won the game.
Yes, it turned out to be the difference. Subhash Dilhara, what a boot he has on him as well, alongside Bulat Sinhalage. But Mahit Pereira making the Thomians wish, and they filled their hearts with hope in the dying embers of the game, but not to be, as the Josephians go the distance and win the Lady Jayatilaka Trophy, and with that remain unbeaten in the Dialog Schools Rugby League 2022. They've taken maximum points from the 2 games they played, 6 points each, Chanaka. So they will go up to the top of the table. 30 points to 28 is the full-time confirmation.
Well, St. Thomas is off the mark as well. They've got 2 losing bonus points in 2 very close games as well. But congratulations to the Josephians today. The Saints have marched up 58 points on the scoreboard, 4 tries to 3, 2 conversions to 1. And it was just the 2 penalties that helped St. Joseph's get and stay in front. And it was 3-2 in the penalty count as well. The NDB player of the match, Navin Marasinghe.
It's the number 8 for the Josephians, making his mark, a hat-trick of tries, and he led the forwards very well as well. Action is not going to stop for you. Upcoming live matches, 3rd of July, that's on a lazy Sunday. You will be able to watch Petrites travelling up to Nithawela, taking on Vidyartha College Kandy. That's going to be an interesting one as well. Vidyartha yet to open their account. St. Peter's College will want to make sure that they get that travelling habit into their team, and to make sure that they put on a good performance in Kandy. That'll come to you live on the Papare.com as well.
Well, these are the scenes here at Havelock Park. The Lady Jayatilaka Shield will be at Dali Road for the next year. In the Dialog Schools Rugby Season 2 drawing to a close with 1 game left tomorrow. And make sure you join us for that as well. And from us here at the Papare.com, from Havelock Park, from Sudarshana Piris, myself, it's goodbye for now.
Introducing Quickie.lk, Sri Lanka's favorite online marketplace with a wide range of product categories. Pharmaceuticals, automobile, groceries, electronics, flowers and cakes, homeware and appliances, and special services such as Quickie Concierge and Quickie SOS. Providing you with multiple payment options, quick delivery, and reliable customer support. Get anything you want delivered anywhere in Sri Lanka with special late-night delivery until 3 a.m. within Colombo and suburbs. Download the Quickie.lk mobile app on your Android or iOS device, or visit www.quickie.lk. Quickie.lk, convenience delivered.
I came from the mud, there's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. Try to catch me howling at the moon.